Welcome to another glitched in-house tournament. Singleton, 60 cards, sets 1 through 11. My name's JJ Bone, and we're here in round number 5. And we have Kenny versus Nico. Let's go ahead and get things started here. Now we got Kenny is going to be on the play here with his signature red, purple, blue deck. Nico is going to have the same colors as I am, purple, steel, and yellow. Kenny does ink the Queen's Castle, plays a Palace card, passes the turn. Nico draws a Let the Storm Rage On. He does have a Palace card as well that he can cast on turn 1, but I think he's trying to think what he wants to ink here. Could be maybe one of the 2 drops, could be the Bagheera, but I think the play is to also play that Palace card here. Let's see what he's going to do. So he decides to ink the penny to play the Palace card. Kenny draws one of his favorite cards, the Chernobog's Followers. But he does not have a turn 2 ramp. So he does decide to do double 1 drops. Pretty good. Passes the turn. Nico draws the Prince. Believe that is a bodyguard. 1/3 with resist +1. That quest for 2. Now with 3 cards in hand, maybe Nico was thinking about not playing the Mowgli or inking the Mowgli to play the Lilo, and that's exactly what he did. Quest 1 with Palace Guard and pass the turn. And Kenny does draw that 1 jump ahead. He can't sing it, but he can cast it if he wants to. Quest with the Chernobog's Followers pops it to draw a card and draws a Yzma. Interesting choice for Kenny here. He can ink something to play the cat if he wanted to. So probably ink the Rider to play the cat. Hits the Palace card. Quest with the Diablo and pass the turn. Probably want to get fodder to the cat's boost ability. Nico draws an Iago here. Pretty good card. Problem is that Cheshire Cat has a lot of strength down there. So playing the Prince will cause a little bit of a problem for Nico, but Bagheera into the Inkwell here. Does decide to play the Prince. Not exerted. If that's the case, I think he's just going to pass the turn here. Be a little bit more patient with the questing power here. If that's the case, maybe I would have kept the Bagheera. Maybe I would have inked the Iago. Just so he could have double bodyguard, but we'll see. Probably see something that we don't. And again, these are singletons. So once you ink something, you probably won't see it again for the whole game. I don't think anyone in the glitched tournament one-offs is playing Ink Geyser. So Nico's deciding what to do here. Nico's deciding to see if he does want a quest or not. But I don't think you should. There you go. He passed the turn. Kenny draws a Let It Go. Uses the cat to sing 1 jump. So he can get 1 extra card into the inkwell face down and exerted from the top of his deck. Decides to quest with the Palace Guard and the Diablo, inks the Moana, plays the Yzma, and passes the turn. As usual, Kenny plays super quick, a lot faster than my brain can put words into my mouth. Decides to sing Let the Storm Rage On to hit 2 to the Cheshire. Inks the Iago to play Peter Pan Rush to take out the Cheshire Cat. Uses Palace Guard to banish the Diablo, but Kenny will draw a card for there. And Lilo quest for 2 and pass the turn. Kenny draws a Mickey, which will give him a little bit of ramp if he wants to do that. But I think you just want to play the genie here. He plays the genie, inks to let it go, and plays the Mickey to get that one ramp. And then uses Yzma to draw 3 cards. Very good play by our boy Kenny here. Uses Palace Guard to quest for 1 and pass the turn. As he likes to call it, free lore. Does have a Sven though. Sven can take out the Yzma so that there's no more card draw. And from here, maybe you just quest out here. Inks the Merlin Goats. Does go questing for 5 and passes the turn. Ooh, Kenny drew one of his favorite cards, that Hades. The red purple Hades. And does cast it. Gets to hit something for 2 to draw 2 cards. Palace Guard has a big butt, so might as well use it. Decides to quest and pass the turn. Kenny does have a pretty good hand. Nico plays the Yzma. Palace Guard runs into the Palace Guard. And what is Nico going to do here? Might as well just quest with all of it, I think. Goes to 12 and pass the turn. Not yet Lorthal. Kenny does draw a Popsicle. He also has You Never Came Back. Slow down. Slow down Nico here. Does have that Peter Pan rush as well, but keep in mind the Prince is a bodyguard and does have resist +1. So some things that Kenny can do here. It really depends on what he wants to do. I mean, he can play the Popsicle and draw to see what he gets. He can also quest out and play Be Prepared. Or sing Be Prepared with the Hades as well. Yeah, this is a little bit of a tough decision for Kenny here. Because keep in mind, Nico does only have 2 cards in hand. So Hades decides to quest, deals 2 damage to the Mickey to draw 2 cards. See what he can get. That's a pretty good draw right there. That this Madame Medusa. Madame Medusa can take out the Yzma if it wants to. Can also take out the Prince, or basically anything that Nico has on board. Plays a Popsicle to draw a card with the Manor. Draws a Manor, and that does give us a little bit of blue-red shark days during its time. Kenny does have the Be Prepared and the Manor. Plays at Madame Medusa to takes out the Yzma. One takes out the card draw. Boosts the Genie here. And then just quests out. That does put Nico 217 this turn. But little does he know that there is a B prep in Kenny's hand. So Nico thinking what he can do here. I think for sure you're going to have to quest with everything. You got to get as much lore as possible with this aggressive deck here. Plays the Genie to draw a card, does replace itself. Inks the Madam Mim to play the Black Heron. And he's probably just going to quest out from here. Unfortunately, not playing around the Be Prepared. You know that every red deck should be playing. Be prepared here. Wonder what Nico's thinking about here. I think he's thinking if he should take out characters or if he should just quest. Because Kenny is actually up there as well in lore. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, he could just win here, right? If he boosts the genie and then just quests out with everything. Yeah, or plays that Pirate's Life as well, not showing the be prepared. So Kenny does get game one here. In the altar phase now for game two. Nico's going to be on play here. Does have that turn one Daisy Duck, as all aggro players love. Looks like Nico has a better hand here than what he had last game. Kenny does his mulligan. Does not see ramp, but he does see a couple cards that will help him against this matchup. Turn one Daisy, pass the turn. Kenny drew a 2-drop Diablo, so it does ink the Elsa pass the turn. Does not have a 1-drop. So here you maybe want to try to put the pressure on. Okay, so he decides to ink the Hercules. Maybe play the penny here. I would have. Okay, decides to be a little safe to get the David on the board and quest 2 with the Daisy, but does get an Elsa that's very good against Nico's deck. Inks the Pete, plays a Diablo, pass the turn. Draws a John Smith. That's one of the better bodyguards in the game, I think. And it's really, really good too. You have to target it all the time if you have to target something. Inks a penny, plays a Percy. Oh, and that's really good too. That Lumiere is really good too. Decides to quest with everything. Gets the Lumiere from the Daisy Duck trigger and pass the turn. So Kenny decides to ink the Queen's Castle. He could. I just brawled the Percy. Puts 3 damage into the David and pass the turn. That was a pretty good play by Kenny there, taking out that 3 quester. Nico does draw a Merlin Rabbit. Lets him draw cards when it enters and when it goes away. Decides to ink the Fox to play Gary. Quest for 3. Puts the Woodchuck Guidebook on the bottom. Pass the turn. What's Kenny going to do here? So Kenny does have the Super Goof that can take out the David and gain him 2 lore, right? Yeah, whenever it challenges, it gains 2 lore. He can also play this Moana. Is this this is the evasive Moana? Yeah. Besides, the Diablo goes into the David to finish it off. Now, again, keep in mind, Chief Bahatan, aka Gary, cannot challenge. He is a big body, but he cannot challenge. What could Kenny be thinking here? There's a lot of options that he can do. And Kenny's brain works way different than mine and a lot faster than mine. Because if he did hit with the Diablo, I'm thinking he wants to just put characters on the board here. Maybe here he could play the Moana to, yeah, play the Moana so that he can set up for next turn. But does draw on a long came Zeus. That is a very good draw by Nico here. So I think what he could do here is he could use the Chief to sing Zeus on the Moana. I mean, the Daisy Duck can take out the Diablo as well, but decides to just quest. Uses the Zeus' Sing to take out the Moana, and then play the Merlin so that you can draw a card. Draws a Tiana. A little bit of an uninkable problem here for Nico. Pass the turn. Draws the dragon that shall not be named because they don't know how to pronounce it. But it is a very good card. Gets to exert characters. It does ink the dragon. So I don't know if Elsa is the play here. It could be. You can play a Lumiere and a cat or Peter Pan. You can also just let it go the chief if you wanted to do that as well. Keep in mind, Nico is at 10, and Kenny does not have any lore yet. Decides to play the Cheshire. That's also another thing, too. You could play the Cheshire and move 2 damage somewhere. Gonna move 2 damage from the Diablo to where? The Chief Powhatan. Is he gonna sacrifice the Diablo for it to hit the Chief? Yep, and that's what he does. Pass the turn. Draws a sad beast. Yeah, he is sad right now because you can't cast him right now. Decides to ink the sad beast to play the John Smith. And the Moana goes into the hand from the Daisy Trigger. Merlin quests for 1 to put Nico to 13. Can he draw his red purple Hades? This is going to be tough. Does have the Into the Unknown that could take out the John Smith, though. So maybe here you could. Okay, so he decides to play the Lumiere. It's the John Smith. That's right. It'll give him +1, so it's enough to take it out. Very smart. Cheshire Cat math. And what happened there? Might have been a misclick. A little bit of an undo. There you go. Oh, decides to undo the whole turn. Okay. Decides to just let it go on the print. It's probably use a Cheshire Cat to take out the rabbit. Allows Nico to draw a card. Draws a Lawrence for the turn for that exchange. Now is Kenny gonna ink something? I think he needs to. Yeah, it inks the Moana. And pass the turn here. Nico draws an Olaf. Just plays the 2/2 questers here. Quest with the Daisy Duck. Gets Finders to the bottom. And passes the turn. A Maleficent Dragon was drawn by Kenny, but it's a little too far off for him to cast that. So he could ink the dragon. This is tough. Because he doesn't have enough to take out 2 characters. I think he only can take out 1. Not unless he plays a Lumiere and an Elsa. He's going to have to ink the dragon, though. Okay, decides to ink the dragon. Maybe the play here is uh, the Lady Tremaine. Nico would have to sacrifice the Daisy Duck if that's the case, though. Okay, so decides to play the Lumiere here and the Peter Pan. Uses the Cheshire Cat ability to take out two, to put it on the Lawrence. Cheshire takes that out. And pass the turn. Goofy's actually a pretty good draw here, too. Just plays it. And Nico Quest, and that untaps the Lawrence as well because it did have damage on it. Pretty good. And now that Tiana is exerted, you need to pay 3 or else your character will get -3 when attacking characters. So what can Kenny do here? He has a snake in hand. He can quest with the chest. Okay, quest with everything. Oh, and he decides to just forfeit that game. So Nico does win game number 2. We're off to game number 3 here with Kenny on the play. All right, here in the mulligan phase, it looks like both of our players here, they do have a pretty good hand, although they can mull some stuff here. Kenny does have a turn 1 play into a turn 2 ramp. Decides to keep those. A little bit of an inkable issue here. Now let's see about Nico. Nico does also have that turn 1, 2, and 3 as well. Inks a Maleficent, plays a Diablo, pass a turn. What's Nico gonna do here? Maybe ink the Goofy to play the Chernobog's followers. Yeah, he's deciding what to ink here. Could be the Francine too. But then the Francine does have 4 willpower, which the Madame Medusa does not hit. Okay, decides to go with the Francine here. Plays the Chernobog followers, pass the turn. Draws some friends on the other side. That's pretty good. Problem is with what are you going to ink here? The Tremaine and the Madame Medusa being uninkable as well as 1 jump ahead. It's kind of difficult. Try to figure out what you're going to do here. It hurts to ink the friends. That's what he does. Plays the 1 jump past the turn. I don't know. Maybe I would have quested with the Diablo here. Inks a Mr. Arrow to play a Piglet. Quest with the Chernobog. He's not going to pop it to draw and pass the turn. Kenny draws a Chernobog's follower of his own. Diablo comes in, gets punished for not popping, but I think that still was the right play. It's a Diablo to play a Chernobog and pass the turn, just like old Purple Steel days. Nico draws a Mowgli here. We can see that there are no non-characters in his hand. They're all characters. But I think here, okay, he decides to play the Mowgli to get information on what he has to deal with. Showing a Dumbo, Lady Tremaine, and a Madame Medusa. Then I think Nico's going to have to ink something here. Maybe the Goofy. See what's going to happen here. Yeah, it's a really tough spot for Nico. He does have a John Smith bodyguard, but that's coming out turn 5. Ink's like goofy. I think it's just pass the turn here. You don't want to cross with that piglet. Draws the Tasha Genie, as we call it. Chernobog's follower will go on a quest and sacrifice itself to draw a card. Draws the Colors of the Wind. Inks a Dumbo to play that genie. Pass the turn. Nico draws a dock, which is kind of not something that we kind of don't need right now. Another 2-drop would have been nice here. Let's see what Nico does. Kind of hurts to ink any of these 2 cards here. The Cheshire Cat could be pretty good to move damage, but the Pinocchio can also be uh, to have lore. But he does decide to play the Lilo, ink the Cheshire, and just goes on a quest. Now, I know that Genie should just quest and draw 3 cards, but it is very tempting to take that Piglet out. You can also just... Okay. So use Colors of the Wind, show those 2 cards, and can he draw 2 cards? Yeah, because Nico's characters won't challenge that Genie anyway. He's probably going to cast a Madame Medusa here to take out the Piglet. Okay, decides to go with a Maui Shark and just runs the Madame Mim into the Piglet. That works too. Grandmother Willow has been drawn. That was shown to us by Colors of the Wind. Now, one thing Nico can do here is just play the Pinocchio. Problem is that now that Kenny has a Maui Shark, it's kind of difficult for Nico to actually do anything to turn sideways because that Maui Shark's just going to feast on those little weenie characters. Because even if you ink the Pinocchio and play the John Smith, the Maui Shark just eats it alive. Is there any... Yeah, you can get the Colors of the Wind back or 1 jump ahead. So Nico's in a really tough spot right now. Does play the Pinocchio and pass the turn. Kenny does draw his favorite Hades. Probably actually just play that. Have the Genie take 2. Draw 2 cards. And then just quest with the Genie to draw 3 cards. To add to that, he did draw a second star. Oh, draw 5 cards. Just use the second star to draw 5 cards. That makes sense. So much cards in Kenny's hand right now. He has so much answers. I think here you just pass the turn. Yeah, pass the turn. Yeah, but Nico's kind of has an inkable issue right now. I mean, even the Iago's not big enough to deal with the Maui Shark. Well, Let's see what else he can do here. I don't know if there's anything else Nico can do here. But yeah, Nico's is just in a rough spot. Kenny has pretty much everything he needs to win the game. And Nico's only at 5 lore, being the aggressive deck. Thanks to Iago. John Smith comes in unexerted. Well, if he comes in unexerted, I think you should just pass the turn here. Oh, it decides to undo. Okay. Yeah. He wants to have it exerted and just quest out. And draws a B prep. There you go. That's how we do it, Kenny. Yeah, because here he can just play the Madame Medusa, take out the John Smith. Okay, decides to do it that way. That's fine too. Uses the Maui Shark to take out the John Smith. Get the Colors of the Wind back. Plays a Madame Medusa to take out the Lilo. He can still quest with the Hades if he wants more cards. Okay, so he decides to do how far I'll go with the Genie. And gain a lore and draw a card, or gain a lore with the Maui Shark. Plays Develop to gain another lore. Uses the Hades to take out the Mowgli. Nope. Maybe he's just quest with the Hades and give 2 damage to the Madame Medusa. No, he's still going to do that. Okay. Thanks to Iago. Pass the turn. Now, because he untapped, he gets to draw a card. So Nico draws 2 cards here. Nico's still in a very rough spot here. Decides to play the Grandmother Willow. Plays the Olaf for free. Plays the Prince. Probably exerted. No, he didn't want to exert it. Keep the Pinocchio is gonna. I mean, the Maui shark can just feast on it. But Madame Medusa does sing Colors of the Wind, revealing a guidebook and a Tigger. So only going to be drawing 1 card here. But it's not like it matters. There's Kenny has so much cards in his hand. Decisive. Finally goes to that Genie. Draws 3 cards. Draws a Rider, Peter Pan, and a Mickey Mouse. Decisive quest with the Maui Shark to just do a Be Prepared. Or did he quest or he sang? Oh, he sang with the. Oh, and just plays 2 manners. I mean, that's how it was before, during the old blue-red shark days. Inks a Tigger to play the dock, draws those 2 cards. Plays a Sven. I didn't even hit the manner. Oh, Nico. I think he just wants to get it over with. Like, just beat me already. Hades on the Sven. Lets him draw. Because might as well. I think Kenny already won the game here. Plays the Mickey Mouse to have him ramp. Plays a Peter Pan. Pass the turn. Draws a Pain. And that is what Nico is feeling right now because Kenny has it all but locked up here. Quest with the Doc and the Sven. Pass the turn. Now he just needs to quest with these three characters and win the game. But knowing Kenny, he's going to keep on playing the game. He's probably going to want to win with the goat or something. Wants to play around with his food. Okay, use the rider because it has rush. And there you go. Put him out of his put him out of his misery. Kenny wins the match 2 games to 1 against Nico. Again, this is our Glitch Singleton tournament. We are in round number 5, and we really hope you enjoy the games, and we'll see you guys and girls next time.